if I can like adjust this anyway. And I wish I could. Okay. Okay, amazing. So as per always, if as we're moving, because I'm taking my headphones out, there's anything that like maybe if my computer shifts and I don't notice and you can't see me anymore, you can't hear me, or if you need to grab my attention for something, feel free to turn your camera on and wave frantically, and I will see you, and I will be like, I'm coming, and I will plug myself back in. If you want to grab, as always, like a blanket or something, it's kind of nice just to have behind your head for any time you need a bit of neck support, as well as your knees. If you feel like you like a little extra cushion, let's do it. Pilates. Oh, I'm so excited. I missed you guys last week. Let me move one of my planties over and just clean it up a little bit for you. Okay, so on our backs, let's bring our knees into our chest, give ourselves just a little rock side to side here. I like to start this way because I feel like doing a class in the middle of the day is amazing to sort of like regroup. And especially if we've had busy weeks, busy days, and we maybe haven't been checking in with our breath, it's kind of a nice chance to do so. So as you're rocking and rolling here, maybe you're taking those thighs into a circle, take a nice big breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. Again, inhaling it in. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time, inhaling in. Exhaling it out. And we're going to take those legs and let them melt over to the right just for a gentle twisting here through the spine. That left arm can go up overhead if you'd like. It could come out like a T or a cactus, whatever you have space for. And taking those few nice breaths down into the left side of the waist here. So nice big breath in. Sighing it out. When you're ready, gently guiding those legs back through center. And then let's take this twist the opposite way. So legs are going to go to the left. Arm will reach up overhead to the right. Maybe turning your gaze to the right as well. And taking those few breaths in and out. So just noticing from side to side how your body is feeling today. Taking stock of your space as well, right? It's like pretty hot potatoes outside. So if you feel like you need to kind of like stay a little more grounded, check in with temperature too, yeah, especially as we get nice and hot through these summer weeks. Let's take ourselves for a little rock and roll all the way over until you are up. We're going to come onto hands and knees. So however you would like to get there, just a little bit more movement here for the body. And then we're going to crack on with all the Pilates. So starting to feel that Pilates breath, bringing a bit of tension through the belly. We're going to add some rotation through our spine here. Toes can be tucked or untucked. It's up to you. Can you bring our right hand? Now, it doesn't have to touch your chest, but I just kind of want you to bring it close to you. Super push the floor away with the left hand. And then through the sides of the waist, can you start to turn your chest around to the right? Once you feel that rotation, notice if that left shoulder has kind of been left stuck. Can we continue pushing it? And then maybe that right arm reaches up. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, thread the right arm under and through as we go for our counter twist here. Inhale, you're going to work on pushing that floor away, rotating through the waist, opening through those collarbones, and then that right arm reaches up. As we breathe out, threading it through. Now, the reason I'm being so specific about this is because I just don't want it to be like a faux range where it feels really good because our top arm goes really high. Because really what we're trying to do is just add a bit of rotation through the thoracic spine. One more time, especially if you've had a lovely morning of getting work done sitting. Last time, you're going to thread your arm through. Option to hold here. So if you'd like to rest your arm down, you can. If you'd like to sit your bum back towards your hips, you can. Take a few breaths. Now, if doing this thread doesn't feel good on hands and knees, you can always sort of bring yourself up to kneeling and add some side bending here instead of weight bearing, if that feels better for you. If you are in that twist on the floor, pressing into your standing hand to bring yourself all the way back up. Regrouping with that zipping in of the midline. Let's bring our left hand towards our chest or on our chest, whatever feels best. Push the floor away with the right arm. Bring that right shoulder blade onto the back, and then start to rotate through the sides of the waist. And make sure as we rotate that we're not collapsing into that right shoulder. Once you feel your rotation reach that left arm up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, thread that left arm under and through for a nice rotation here. Inhaling to bring ourselves out and up. Exhale to thread it through. Inhaling to thread. Exhale underneath. One more time, continually working on this idea of rotating from the torso, then adding the arm, thread the left arm through, and then pause. So again, that left arm can be under. You can sit your bum back if you'd like. And again, if you'd prefer to be kneeling and side bending, such a perfect option as well. Take a nice big breath in. Exhaling it out. When you're ready, pushing into your standing hand, bring yourself all the way up, and then let's flip onto our backs, please. So finding yourself lying down on your back, starting with core work, just to warm up through that transversus abdominis, because we're going to need it for all of the other stuff we're doing today. Hands can come down beside you. Feet are planted on the floor. Let's find our home base for our pelvis. Home base being when your hip bones and your pubic bone are flat and level. If you'd like to slide a blanket underneath your head and shoulders here, you totally can. Taking a moment on the ground here to start to feel the little pieces of the pie that keep us connected. Inhaling through the nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. Exhaling out through your mouth. Your rib cage drawing down, pelvic floor drawing up. Inhaling through the nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. Exhaling through the mouth. Rib cage draws down, pelvic floor. So pubic bone to coccyx like a pancake, drawing up. Last little bit that we want to consider here is that we're not squeezing the glutes, and that as we're starting to create tension through the deep transverse abdominis, through your deep abs with your breath, that we're not squeezing our belly at the midline. There's no sort of extra doming or bubbling at the belly button. We're actually thinking flat and wide. Now your arms can come up in space if you'd like, and if they do so, can you give them a squeeze? They can always stay down to the floor. Keeping your pelvis nice and level, we're taking a breath in. As you breathe out, can you lift your right leg up off of the floor into a tabletop? Notice if your hips did anything funky. Inhale to lower that right leg down, and then exhale, your left leg is going to lift up. Inhale, left leg lowers, and then exhale, right leg lifts. So we're going to keep marching it out here and just think about some housekeeping as we do so. So first little bit of housekeeping as we're here is, okay, it's like pretty tidy lifting and lowering a leg, and you could actually do this with almost no core connection at all. We know that we want to start to warm up through our bellies. So as you're lifting that leg, really exhale, really think about the ribs sliding to the outside of the waist, the hip bones drawing up to the outside of the waist, and that belly button opening nice and wide and flat, not fashion flat, like anatomical flat. Notice as you're lifting and lowering your legs, if your pelvis is rocking back and forth, we want to try to create that hip bone, pubic bone home base. So there will be a little hint of a low back arch away from the floor. That's your natural lordotic curve, but we don't want to over accentuate it or squish it. Lowering down. When you're ready, exhale, right leg lifts. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, left leg lifts. Lowering it down. Two more. Lifting up to the right. Lower that leg down. Exhale, lift up to the left. Squeezing through those arm stills. Okay. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, your right leg is going to lift. Keep that right leg lifted. Can you breathe out? Your left leg is going to lift off of the floor. Right now, we're still in that hip bone, pubic bone alignment, little ladybug house. You're going to take your hands, press your hands against your thighs. Open your thighs out just a little bit and flex through those feet. Can you imagine you're squeezing a block between those legs? So they're not touching, but they're not hip distance. They're like kind of energized like magnets dancing around each other. We're not in our scooped belly yet. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to press your thighs like cray-cray. Let's say 60 to 70% legs drawing in, and then 40 to 30% hands pushing away. Wow, I had to do some really quick math there. Let's press and hold for 5. Remember, you're trying to not rock into your pelvis. 4. Keep pushing, holding tension, breathing. 3. Letting those rib cage draw down for 2. Last one, take a quick little break, but don't drop anything if you can help it. Breathe in, energize through those feet. As you breathe out, 60 to 70% legs hugging in, 40 to 30% hands pushing back. Now notice as you work here, if you're sort of squeezing through your abdomen, can we keep it opening nice and wide, easy breezy. Flexing out through those feet, or if you need to, drop your ankles and shins down, and that might actually give you a better recruitment through your abs. As you're holding wide, you're still holding for 2, for 1. Take a little break. I'm going to keep my ankles down today because that just works better for my abs today. Breathe in. As you breathe out, last time like this. Now remember, we're trying to stay neutral. So we have to keep thinking wide, 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 so that our low back does not press down to the floor. This Sorry, this takes quite a bit of psoas support, right? So if you're feeling awareness in your low back, know that that makes sense. For 2, for 1, let's lower the feet down, take a little break. Planting your feet on the floor, arriving back in your home base, hip bones, pubic bone level. Take a breath in. This time, as you breathe out, you're going to scoop through your low belly so that you are now trying to arrive with that low back hollow towards the floor. As the low back is hollowing towards the floor, it's like your hip bones are sliding down and back. Your rib cage is also sliding down and back, and then you're opening wide. So everything is sliding towards that belly button. Take your breath in here. Maybe your arms are up. As you breathe out, maybe lift one leg up. Now, right away, we're going to go into that press from the scooped placement. Lifting through those legs, hollowing through your belly, and checking in again and making sure that we're not doming and lifting up. We want to keep hollowing and scooping down. Placing your hands to your thighs if that feels reasonable. Opening them out just a smidgen, maybe flexing through your feet, maybe dropping down if that gives you a little more. Yeah, I'm going to keep my ankles down for today. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop. Ribs down. Press thighs and hands 60 to 70%. Can you maybe find more scoop, more hollow? Keep the tension for 3. Keep the tension for 2. Keep the tension for 1. Gently release the pressure, but don't release the shape. Take your inhale. As you breathe out, scoop deeper. Feel 60% or 70% legs hugging in, and then 40 to 30 hands resisting back. Scooping and hollowing for 3, for 2, for 1, little bit of a break. One more time. Breathe in. Remember, your legs could totally be up if you wanted them to be. As you breathe out, scoop and hollow. Press hands and thighs. Widening and not doming through that center of the belly. Can you add more tension? Now, you might feel some low back here. It totally makes sense because of the musculature. For 3, as long as it's not like unsafe pain, then you should be hopefully okay. For 2, for 1, gently release, lower those legs back down. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Okay, so we've nice and sort of cued into what's happening down here. We're going to plant those feet on the floor. So I will leave it up to you for today. If you felt like you had much more abdominal recruitment with your pelvis level, stay level. If you felt like you had much more connectivity with a scoop, you can scoop. So be where you need to be. I'm going to cue us into a scoop. And then if you're staying at home base, you can stay at home base. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, commit to whichever abdominal placement, whichever pelvic placement you'd like to work at. When you're ready, arms can be up if you'd like, placed on your body or on the floor, rolling up to both of your toes this time. And then maybe you can lift both of your legs up to your table. Can we flex out through those feet? You're scooped and hollowed through that belly. Take your breath in, squeezing through your arms. This time as you breathe out, you're going to start to reach that left leg away. As the left leg pushes away, can you kind of hug the right leg in a little bit more and then commit to whatever your pelvic bowl is doing. Inhale to let everything slide back to center, center being knees over hips. As you breathe out, your right leg is going to push away right through that heel, and then your left thigh is going to hug in just a little bit. Inhale to find center, they slide and meet, and then exhale to switch. Now, what I would like you to imagine, inhale, find center, and then exhale to switch, is as if you had a band around your ankles. And so as your long leg reaches long, it's like it's trying to stretch out and pull tension on this band. The band is being held by your bent knee, yeah? So imagine the band is wrapped around the bent leg, the long leg is trying to create more tension. Now, every time you have a leg going long, can you super duper zip up through that thigh? Pull that leg in. We're either scooping and hollowing or staying nice and neutral and wide and flat. Yes? Whatever makes the most sense for you. Now, if the arms are lifted, they're squeezing. They could be on the floor. They could be on your belly to remind you of a connectivity. Pull the leg in. Exhale to reach away. One more time to the left. Pull that leg in. One more time to the right. Pull it in, hold the legs. When you're ready, you're going to interlace those hands behind your head, or if you have a mat, you can always grab the back corners. And as you exhale, you're going to nod and curl up. Shake, shake, shake. Inhale to lengthen back, and then exhale to curl. So as we're working here, my legs are now squeezing together. I've personally chosen a bit of a scoop, but again, you are wherever you are, right? Inhale to lengthen back, exhale to curl it up. When you're ready, you're going to add that reach of the leg. Imagine that imaginary band. You're trying to pull, 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 pull. Inhale, legs find their center as you lengthen back. Exhale, you're trying to pull the band, zip up the long thigh, scoop the belly more. Remembering that every time we move, our tip top priority above all else is keeping that pelvis really super nice and still. So that work that we did when we were pressing the thighs, that's what we want to feel deep first. And then the curl up is an addition to that. Lengthening yourself back. Exhale to curl up and reach. Inhaling back. Exhale to curl. We're going 2 more to each side. We've got this, team. Inhale it in. Over to the left. Pull that leg in. Over to the right. One more time. Inhale in. Exhale to curl and reach. Pull it in. Exhale to curl and reach. Now, if you would like to, you can pull your legs in. If you're feeling spice-a-rama, maybe you reach the bent leg to meet the long leg. You have 2 long legs. Maybe you reach your arms with you for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Pull it in, take a break. Whew. Little rockety rollity across the pelvis. Take a nice big breath in. Exhaling it up. All right, planting through those feet. Last little bit of business here for today. Feeling the feet planted. Now, again, it's your choice, user's choice. If you would like your pelvis to stay more like a flat, neutral type of shape, hip bones, pubic bone level, or if you'd like to take that breath out, hollow your low back. Remember, it's not a press of the low back. It's a scoop and hollow of the low back without your glutes. Rib cage is drawing down. We're feeling all those back ribs on the floor. We're thinking wide across the belly, no matter which shape you are in. Maybe those hands start reaching up. Maybe you roll up to your toes and lift one leg at a time or both legs up into their tabletop. Hands are going to come behind your head. Or you can grab onto the corners of the mat, or you could even work without hands at all behind your head and just working on that flexion happening from the upper body. Inhale where you are. As you exhale, come up to your center and then pause. We're going to troubleshoot for a second. Take that right arm, reach it up, and then exhale. Can you curl up and over towards the outside of the left knee and freeze? For a moment, can you turn your right palm to face down, press the pinky finger into the left leg, resist it, and use it as leverage to curl up a little bit higher. I would like us to try to aim towards not resting on that back left shoulder blade. I would like us to still keep our pelvis level, and you're looking to the outside of the knee. So sort of like make a little mental picture, mental note of what this feels like. Bring the hand back, inhale to go back through center, then exhale, curl up and over to the right, and then freeze. Reach your left arm, palm faces down. Left pinky finger into the side of the right thigh. Take a second, and then can you really push the pinky finger in, resist with the thigh, and use that as leverage to curl up a bit higher. Trying to stay off of those back right shoulder blades, enjoying that curl. Bring the hand back, inhale, center. We go right away into that left twist. Inhale back through center, exhale into the right twist. Now, remember, you get to pick your pelvic placement here. Inhale back through center, exhale up and over and twist. If you would like to, you can flex through those feet, and as you curl up to the left, your right leg will reach away. Inhale back through center. As you curl up to the right, your left leg will reach away. Remembering that above all else, we're trying to keep tension through the thighs, and we're trying to keep a nice pelvis that is stable. Exhale to reach up and over. Can you maximize the amount of tension in your body? Your body's going to try to find little shortcuts because our bodies are designed to be super efficient. And we're going to be like, you know what? We don't want to be efficient. We're going to try to fire up every single little minute muscular detail that we can find here. Pulling yourself in and back. You're always welcome to reach the arms if you find that really nice and helpful. Exhale up and over to the left. Are you on fire? I'm on fire. Back through center, up and over to the right. One more time. We're going to that left. Exhale to reach and hold. Now you have options. Legs can come in. They can lower down. You can have one extended. You can have both extended. We're doing little pulses up to the left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back through center. If you've adjusted your legs, bring them to the middle. And then exhale up and over to the right. You can have legs long, legs bent. One left leg, knees down, feet down. Curl yourself up to the right, little pulses. Here we go for 10, 9, in your oblique twist. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. I'm hoping we're like, oh yeah, that was abdominals. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Give yourself any little rocks and rolls that you need. And then we're going to roll over to one side. We're going to come to rest on our left arm. Sliding ourselves down. Oh, that feels good through the belly to reach it out. We're going to bend through our knees here. So we're going to stack ourselves. So ears, shoulders, hips, and heels are as much as they can be in line with each other. And we want to just bring our top hand to our top hip. Can we make sure that hip is nice and long away from the waist? Zipping into that belly. So we're going to go for a really juicy glute series here. So I will say take breaks as you need to. It's going to get nice and spice-a-rama. And I'm so excited I get to do it with you. Squeezing those heels together, maybe flexing through the feet, maybe pointing through your toes. As you breathe out, you're going to open that top thigh and then freeze. Hold the top thigh open, check in with that top hip, and make sure it's still really nice and stacked on top of the bottom. Notice as well, if you feel like your bum is kind of scooped underneath you, can you stick your tailbone out behind you? Inhale to lower that leg down just to tap, and then exhale to lift it up. Inhale to lower down, tap. And then exhale to lift it up. So nice and calm with our movement here. Exhale to open. As we're working through this top thigh, just checking in with all the rest of our body. So we still want to draw the rib cage in. We still want to stay connected through the top and bottom side of our waist here. Now we know that our goal is to work into that glute. So explore your range. Maybe you have a really, really big range, but you kind of lose the sensation to that center of your bum cheek the higher you go. So stay in a world where you can really feel stuff happening. Also notice if you're feeling more into your low back or top side of your hip, stick your bum out a little bit extra. Don't lose your belly. Keep that low belly nice and stable, but definitely still opening through the back of the tail. Inhaling to lower. Exhaling to open. Now, as we do this with the leg, if you would like to add an arm, I'm going to keep moving the leg, yeah? And I'm going to just talk about the arm. You're going to bend your elbow in so that you're in a 90-degree angle with your forearm parallel to the floor. Bring that right shoulder blade on the back, and can you squeeze your arm muscles, all the muscles in your arm. As your leg lowers, your arm is going to lower. And then as you exhale, you're going to externally rotate through that arm. Notice it's not going to go super duper high. Inhaling to lower. Exhale to open. Now, if you're looking really closely at the screen, I'm sort of playing with my feet. Please feel free to do so as well. If you want to flex through the top foot, if you want to point through both of your feet, inhaling down. I kind of like to point the bottom, flex the top. Don't forget about that top arm. It's still working nice into some really subtle, no like weight-bearing impact, external rotation here. Hoping you're feeling that top bum cheek. Let's go for 3. Inhaling to lower it down. Let's go for 2. One more time. We're going to open everything up and then freeze here. Now hold the legs. If you're feeling really excited, maybe you're going to lift bottom heel up to squeeze top heel, yeah? Bottom shin up to meet the top. I'm going to lower mine down, to be honest, because that's where I'm at today. But maybe you can hold yours up, right? Wherever you are. Just the arm lowers down. Just the arm opens up. Now, even though our legs are being held in space, they're not taking a break. You're still digging those heels in. We're still wide through that top side of the waist. We're still trying to keep that thigh open against gravity. And that arm, we're squeezing through those arm muscles. Inhaling to lower down. Exhale to open it up. Woo-hoo. Let's go for 3. Feeling that top glute. I hope we all are too. If you don't feel your bum cheeks yet, send me an email. We will figure it out. One more time, open the top arm and then let that top arm come down. We're going to take that top leg. Now remember, it could be floating. It could be on the floor. We're going to lower it just an inch, just a little baby bit, and then dig your heels, open it up. Lower it down just a little inch. and then open it up. Now your arm could be reaching up in space if you really wanted to. It could be down on the floor. It could be on your hip, just a little inch. Keep sticking your tail out behind you. Squeeze and open. We're going for 3. Pilates is stinking hard. We're going for 2. Anyone else shaking, shaking, shaking? Lift it up. One more time. You're going to lift. You're going to hold it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Okay, we're super not done though. You can keep your bottom leg bent if you'd like. You're going to reach your top leg out long. Your top leg is going to go hip height. So it's out nice and high. Woo, already feeling good stuff here. Top arm can be reaching up to the ceiling. The arm will be squeezed though. Yeah, those our muscles are squeezing. Hand can come to your hip or hand can come to the floor. Can we take ourselves to that hip height with the leg, and then can we lift it up like 2 more inches? And can you imagine from your toes down to the front corner of your mat, like one part of a rainbow, and then from where you are right now in the middle to the point of the mat back behind you, that's the other half of the rainbow. So where your leg is, it's right in the middle. It's the apex, and we're going to do a little rainbow around it. So you're going to lift that leg up and around to tap forward. Now it's not huge. It's pretty small. And then lift it up and around, and can you take it to that back corner behind you? Now it might not touch the floor, yeah? Lift that leg up, find that middle apex, take the leg forward and down. Don't let it thud to the floor. With control, please. Up, around, and back to that back corner. Now, simple, definitely not like the most choreographed experience we've done. However, your body is going to try to be as efficient as possible, which means there's probably going to be rotation through your rib cage. Your rib cage might pop out. There's maybe going to be gripping of your shoulders. There's maybe going to be a movement of your pelvis. Your pelvis is not allowed to move even an iota. It stays really nice and still, especially as you go into that extension. Think tons, smiley part of your bum cheek, as well as hamstrings. Now, if this is feeling super duper nice and fun for you, as you lift that leg up and forward, you're going to internally rotate so that it's internally rotated on the way down. You're going to lift it up, externally rotate it, and maybe tap closer to your heel behind you. Lift the leg up, it passes through parallel, internally rotate it so that it's trying to rotate in, then lift it back up, find the apex, turn the leg out. See, like as if you could tap that heel behind you. Lift that leg up, rotate it, tapping down and forward. Lifting it up, around and back, turning it out. Lifting it up, rotating it down and in. And then lifting it up, around and back. We're going for 3. This is definitely a case of slow and steady wins the race. Up and around for 2. If you were to speed this up, it might feel burny, but that doesn't mean you're actually building the strength, right? Because it would be more gravity. Up and around as we take that leg back. One more time. Up and around and forward. Up and around and back. Lift that leg back up. Find center. Hold it here. Reach your leg nice and long. Draw into your rib cage. Let's circle that leg for 8. 7. Now it's coming from right in the center of your bum cheek. For 4, top of your thigh. 3, 2, 1. Let's go the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Now, if you are feeling like you would like to go for it, you're welcome to come up onto your forearms, press the left forearm down into the floor, hug the left forearm in, left shoulder blade on your back. You can lift the hips up or slide the legs and find yourself in your version of a side plank. If you're feeling creative today, like you want to do a little bit of playing around, we're going to bring ourselves so that our right foot, our right toes are pointing forward. We're going to come up onto our forearm, and your hips are going to stay a little bit lower. Yes, it's kind of fidgety. So if you're like super happy holding your plank as it is, feel free. You're still holding for 5, for 4. You're digging into that foot. 3, you're squeezing your glutes. Ribs are in. 2, last 1. Lower it down. Whew, nice job. Let's resist giving ourselves a stretch into that bum cheek right away. And let's go to that other side. Whew, mine's like totally having a little bit of an exciting moment. Okay, so all the way back on our side body here, resting on your right arm. top hand to top hip. Push that top hip away. Still connecting into the low belly, still drawing the ribs in, maybe flexing, pointing your feet, taking your inhale. And as you breathe out, let's open the top thigh and then just pause. So checking in with your housekeeping. Can we make sure that those hips are really nice and stacked, that we're squeezing into that bum, that we're shining our tailbone out behind us? Inhaling to just lower and tap that thigh down, and then exhaling to open it up. Inhaling to lower to tap, and then exhaling to lift. So same little bits and pieces of the pie that we had before. So even though we might have a really big range here, depending what's happening with your hip flexibility, we want to make sure that you're feeling recruitment the whole entire way through. So if you open and you go really far, but you don't feel musculature there, it's not really a point to that, right? So let's stay in a range for us, because I don't think we're auditioning for the National Ballet, although maybe you are. That would be pretty cool. Controlling as you lift. As you lower, we want to make sure we're not collapsing down. We want to feel resistance as we work here. Control, 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 and then control, 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 control. Yeah? So it's working in both directions. Oh, it's feeling exciting. Now that we sort of have a bit of a home base happening here with the bum, you're welcome to bring your arm in. So I'm going to keep the legs going as we talk about the arm. Bringing my forearm parallel to the floor, elbow tucked into the top side of the waist. That left shoulder blade is on my back. As my leg lowers down, my arm will close in. And then as I breathe out, it's going to mimic, but it's not going into a huge rotation, yeah, because I'm keeping my shoulder blade really, really stable on my back. Lowering with control, opening with control, lowering down, and then opening it up. And we're trying to work maximum, right? So we are squeezing that arm. Maybe you have a weight in there, maybe you don't. But either way, can we squeeze through our biceps, triceps? Can we find a nice, strong recruitment of the muscles through our forearms? Can we avoid, like I just did, collapsing the leg down, keep it really recruited, and then open it up? We're doing amazing. Let's go for 5. Let's go for 4. Working through those external rotators of our leg. For 3. Heaving it open. For 2, still remaining in control, still remaining with your breath. Are you shaking? I'm totally shaking. Last one, we're going to lift it up and hold. Now, it's up to you if you want to lift that top shin and that bottom heel and that bottom shin. We're really super squeezing, yeah? I'm going to leave mine down for now. And we're just working through that arm. Let it lower to the floor and then open it back up for 8. Lowering down, opening up for 7. Keep digging those heels together. Can we keep holding that top thigh up against gravity? Can we keep sticking the bum out behind us? Can we keep squeezing through that top arm? So you really get to turn on all the musculature here, right? Like asking the body to work as hard as you want it to work today. Last one, here comes the extra exciting bit. Hold the arm, drop the arm, lift the arm up, whatever you want. That top thigh is gonna go just an inch, dig the heels and open back up. Remember, you could be lifted up should you choose. I'm keeping mine down. There's no way today. Down just an inch and then lift it up. Down just an inch and then lift it up. We're going for 5. Oh my God. We're going for 4. Lift and open. For 3. This one like really gets it. It's my new favorite to add this slow, controlled pulsing and opening. Last one. Can you hold it open? Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let it come down to take a break. Good job. You can keep your bottom leg bent. You're going to reach your top leg nice and long. And we're going to lift that top leg up hip height. So it starts nice and parallel. So find that nice long leg. And I'm trying to find a nicer way to say this. I guess maybe like reach your toes as if you could touch whatever surface is across from you, or as if I was with you and I had a hold of your ankle and I was pulling you nice and long here. Once you have found this shape, we're turned on through the quad, right? Zip, zip, zip. Can we lift the leg up 2 more inches? And so this is now our new apex. Thinking about that half of the rainbow that touches down to the front corner of your mat and then up and around to that back corner of your mat, or whatever you're working on, right? But keep it contained. Noticing how high you are. This is how high you're coming every time. down and around with control towards that bottom front corner. Lift it up, pass through that center, and then down and around to the back. And maybe it doesn't touch, right? Like depending what's happening through your pelvic structure here, there might not be the support, right? We don't want to just throw our body into a placement that doesn't feel supported. We want to stay pretty supported. However, non-negotiable as you're exploring your range is the zip up of your quad. Turn that puppy on. It's like, oh, so strong. Plus, we're also getting a really nice hot potato sensation, some spice-orama in your bum cheek. Can we keep that going? Can we lean into that? Can we celebrate how hard or how exciting, I should say, that feels? Our brains might start to tell us, no way, it's not going to work. I can't do it. And you're going to be like, yes, I can. I can totally do this. Lift it up. Tap down in front. And I say that for all of us, not just for you, but for me too. Because trust me, this is like, woo, so spicy. Forward, lift it up around, tap it back behind. Now, especially as that leg goes back, your body is going to try to be really efficient, right? Because that's what it does. And it's going to try to be efficient by rotating through the pelvis, maybe rotating through the upper body, maybe expanding through the rib cage. So can we keep all of those things really contained? Because we want to work not smarter. We want to work harder, not smarter, yeah? Lift it up. Back behind. Let's do 2 more taps, please, in each direction. And then we're going to add that rotation. So as you lift your leg up, maybe you internally rotate. My leg is like, internally rotate ever so slightly. Lift that leg up, turn it out, and maybe your heel now has more of a chance of tapping behind you. Mine doesn't tap behind me on this side. Internally rotate as that leg comes forward. Lift it up through that apex, turn it out as it goes back behind you. But remember, you can't lose your pelvis. So everything else is just like garnish. It's just fancy. The meal here, the real work is keeping that pelvis nice and stable so that we can really get into that bum cheek. Your top arm could be lifted, squeezing. It could be in front of you. It could be on that top hip. 2 more taps in each direction, internally rotating on the way forward. This is just an option, yeah? If you were really loving and invested in the parallel, stay parallel, right? Whatever works for you. 1 more time to the back. I'm definitely cheating on my apex lift there. There we go. Find parallel. Find that center. Lift up 2 inches. Reach it out. Squeeze the thigh. Little circles for 8, 7, 6, 5. It's on fire. 4. It's supposed to be 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Nothing moves, just the leg. Last 1. Bring it down. Ooh. If you feel like you would like a bit of a grand finale for that, you're going to bring yourself up onto your forearm. You could just keep your knees down and lift up. You could find yourself in a side plank, or if you want to add something a little different, it's a little more finicky, you're going to plant down through your left foot so that your toes are pointing forward. It's a huge amount of movement through your ankle. Those hips are not going to lift high. They're going to stay fairly low. We're pushing the forearm away. We're squeezing the forearm in. Bottom waist is on. Thighs and glutes are on. Finding the side plank that works for you today. For 5, for 4, for 3, gazes where you need it to be, for 2, last 1, lower it down. Now I promise we will stretch out through our glutes at the end of our time together today, but for now we're going to let them be. Let's come all the way down onto our bellies. Whew, give that a little bit of a break. Okie dokie. So planting down through your hands, this is my new favorite series because I feel like we all kind of go through phases. My new favorite series for working back extension and shoulders in a way that doesn't require you to bear down. So it just means that you can control the experience a little bit more because you're not weight bearing. Let's open those legs so that they are mat distance apart. As long as if they're not on a mat, just open them a little bit wider. Turn those legs out so your knees are looking away from you. And right out of the gate, we're pressing the feet down. We're zipping through the thighs. We're turning on through those glutes. Little bit of a pelvic tilt towards pubic bone, but don't lose your hip bones completely. We're planting our hands down all the way from that middle finger through the wrist, through the forearm to the elbow. And then head drops down. Now I'm going to keep my head up a little bit hovered so that you can hear me, but your faces can be all the way down on your mat. Now those hands might go about mat distance. They might go a bit further, yeah? So wherever you need to be, explore that range so that you can melt down. So legs are on, pelvis is scooped, belly is on here. As you breathe in, can you roll your shoulder blades onto your back as best as you can? Widen across the collarbones. Press the width of the hand and elbows and forearm down, and then drag that shape down. Draw that tension down. Your forehead is going to do a little nod forward, and then you're just going to start to lift out and up until you get to about low rib area. From this extension, can you take a moment and make sure that all those little bits and pieces are still happening, that your legs are still turned out, that your quads are still on, your toes are down to the floor. Yeah, they're not hovered. You're still scooping towards pubic bone, which requires a lot of low abs. You're zipping into your ribs, not pushing them into the mat. And you're lengthening out. Take one more breath in. Maybe you lift the hands to hover and then put the hands down, melt down to the floor. Not a ton should change from mid-back down. That should all stay pretty much the same. As you inhale, pressing down through the arms, drawing them towards your toes. Legs are on, shoulder blades back, little head nod forward. As you breathe out, lengthen out as you come up, like you're trying to shine your sternum forward. You're trying to drag your torso forward in space. At the top, take a little hover of the arms. Make sure you're not bearing down. Yeah, we're trying to lift up and out of the shape we've just made, and then lower yourselves down to the floor. A few more here. Shoulder blades on the back, pressing through the arms, drawing the tension down as we lengthen our sternum out and up, watching that the pelvis doesn't tilt, right? We're trying to keep it towards pubic bone. Breathing in here and then exhaling to melt it down. Now, you could have the reverse experience where you can super easily find your pubic bone and you kind of struggle dropping to your hip bones a little bit, yeah? So that's why I say play with it. We want an awareness of both, but we don't want to be, what we really don't want is super, super hip bones. Because if you really relax into your hip bones, it's going to get crunchy through your low backs. At the top, hovering those hands, placing them back down, and then melting, drawing your chest to the floor. Two more here. I'm hoping you're starting to warm up through that mid-back. At the top, lifting. Now, nothing should change, right? All we've done is lift up through those hands and then bring ourselves down. One more time. Now, I know we're super focused, but notice I'm doing it with you and I'm still able to speak. It should be the same, hopefully, for you as well, right? If someone were to ask you a question, you could answer without losing your breath. Come all the way down, take a pause, maybe turn one cheek to the mat. Now, again, I'm hoping low backs feel pretty okay here. As we crack on, if you find that your low back is bothering you, play with reducing your range, checking in with your abdominal tension, and then the tilt of your pelvis. Okay, we're going to set ourselves up. When you're ready, finding that home base, hands are drawing down, shoulder blades on our back, lengthening out and up, legs are on, glutes are on, quads are on. Now you're going to stay in this shape here, yeah? We're going to lift those arms to hover as we just practiced. We're going to inhale to shoot those arms forward as much as you can. And then exhale, bend and squeeze your shoulder blades back. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Keep reaching your crown of your head forward. Inhaling to shoot the arms. Do not press your ribcage into the floor. Exhale to squeeze them back. You're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades as much as you can. As you inhale, your shoulder blades are going to upwardly rotate. Feel like you're reaching and showing off your armpits to the floor. And then exhale, squeeze and draw it back. Inhale to reach it forward. Exhaling it in. And there's a sweet spot when you draw those arms back where maybe you get a bit of a shake. Now, if this is feeling like way too much work through your posture muscles, you can always relax your forehead down and just work through the shoulders, yeah? Reach it forward. Exhale to squeeze or lower your range. We're going for 3. Squeeze those muscles in your arms. We're going for 2. Exhale to squeeze. One more time. Inhale out. Exhale, squeeze. Can you squeeze those shoulder blades down? Squeeze your arms in for 5. We're lengthening forward 4. Maximum tension 3. For 2. For 1. Lower the arms. Lower your torso. Maybe it feels nice to push up and back and take a bit of a shell stretch here. Maybe you're happiest on your belly. So our aim right now, I'm letting you take a minute to stretch or to breathe. Our aim right now is targeting through the mid back. So again, those posture muscles opening through the collarbones, pardon me, as well as then working on some mobility through our shoulder girdle. We're about to add some shoulder joint in here as well. And then we'll add in some arms. It's really tough work working these posterior chain muscles, because we can't see them. And there's such a network of that. What we can see, generally speaking, like pecs can get a little bit tighter. Like we're very forward beings, right? Everything we do primarily is in front of us. So if it feels a lot of work to work the stuff behind you, it completely makes sense. Okay, let's set ourselves back up. So plopping those hands back down, you're still reaching wide with those legs, and we're drawing our chest down to the floor. So first little bit of business, we're lengthening out through those thighs. We're zipping up through those quads. We're drawing in through the pelvis, drawing in through the ribs, pressing your hands all the way down to your elbows to the floor and hugging the elbows down. Shoulder blades on your back when you're ready. Little head nod forward with the nose. Lengthen yourself out and up to your version of the extension. Now this time, you're going to dig the elbows in. So the elbows are going to stay down. You're going to lift your forearm and your hands to hover, but keep digging the elbows in. Your palms are going to rotate in towards each other. Give yourself a thumbs up. And then you're going to continue rotating so those thumbs are reaching out and away. Dig the elbows in, find your external rotation. Hold your maximum here for 3. Nothing should feel pinchy though. For 2, for 1, bring your palms back to face the floor. Lower your hands, but not your torso. Take a breath in, regroup. Notice if you kind of lost anything, right? Especially the pelvis and the legs. Lift the forearm and the palms to hover. They rotate in to face each other. Give yourself a thumbs up. And then continue the journey of that thumbs up. So they're rotating out and away. And we're really trying to hug those shoulder blades. Imagine them like little upside down pizzas. We're trying to hug them in towards your spine. For 3, wide collarbones. For 2, for 1, bring them back, palms face down. Lower your arms, but not your torso. That being said, if your mid back is just like straight fire and totally over this, you could continue working with your forehead down. When you're ready, keeping the tension in the body, lift the forearms and the palms. Rotate in, give yourself a thumbs up. Shoulder blades on your back. Lengthen and reach. Squeeze the arms out and away. Hug the shoulder blades on the back. Lengthen through those legs. Hold the tension for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring the arms back, palms face down, lower to the floor. One more time. Keep digging the elbows down. Lengthen your palms, your forearms up off of the floor. Rotate the palms to face in. Give yourself a thumbs up. My mid back is on fire. Lengthen your thumbs up, out and away. Dig the elbows in. Open the collarbones. Find that external rotation through the shoulders. For 3, for 2, for 1. Bring yourself back in. Lower down. You can let your forehead, let a cheek touch the mat. You can give yourself a little rock through the hips if you'd like to. We're super not done. But again, mid back, right? So we did some work through the shoulder blade. We did some work through our shoulder girdle here. We're going to add in our arms. So if you're really happy with the placement of your leg, if that's feeling good for your back, keep them there. If you'd like to sort of up the ante of the pelvic stability, you're going to bring those legs towards each other. Now, the closer the legs are, bring them parallel, the more challenge it's going to be to keep your pubic bone energized to the floor. So just know that, especially if you're having a lot of low back stuff right now, it might feel nicer to keep the legs wide. We're going to take our hands back down the way we've started. So the only thing that's changed here possibly is your feet. Your feet are going to stay totally glued down to the floor. Zip up through your thigh. Fire through those glutes. Lengthen your torso back down. Hugging the arms. Here we go. Feeling that initial tension. Rolling that little marble away and then lengthening your torso up and out. Now feel that work of the arms. We're going to lift our forearms and hands to hover. Give ourselves that thumbs up. Do that little rotation. Feel how much work that is. And then we're going to lift the elbows up and just take the arms to reach down to our hips. So the shoulder blades are super on our back. We're like a big dart here. Toenails are pressing down. Thighs are active. Arms are squeezing beside our hips. Our torso is long in space. Can you take your palms, please, and make sure that they face into your hips? As you inhale, you're going to open those arms out. As the arms reach out, your palm is facing back behind you, thumb to the floor. As you breathe out, squeeze it in. Now you're moving both of your arms. I'm only using one because that's all I have room for. Inhale to reach it out, and then exhale to squeeze. Inhale to reach out and away. Exhale to squeeze. So as you lift that arm, try not to rotate palm to the floor. It's like you're sort of pushing, like you're doing, is that the fly where they go like that? Kind of like that. Or like a reverse breaststroke. So you're pushing away with the palm, the back of your hand, and then you're squeezing back in. Now, if we really want to get detailed about this movement, it's actually happening from your shoulder blade. So imagine someone's drawing your shoulder blade away from your spine, and then from your armpit, you're squeezing back in. Now, if this is going well, and you would like to up the ante, you are welcome to explore lifting one leg to hover, maybe lifting the second leg to hover. The home base check-in here, though, the housekeeping, is that if you do lift your legs, you're not dumping into your hip bones. Whew. Keep going here, team. We're going for 3. Reach it out and away. We're going for 2. Out and away. One more time. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Gently lower legs, arms, upper body. One more little bit of business here. Give yourself a little rock. Okay, here we go. Keep your hands down by your hips. Keep your toenails glued to start. Looking down at the floor. Zipping up through the thighs, finding that little pelvic tilt towards your pubic bone. Not pushing your ribs into the floor, but drawing them in. Staying nice and connected to your core unit. This time, let's roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Lift the palms up. Give those arm muscles a squeeze. Maybe bring your hands into fists. When you're ready, lengthen yourself out and up so you're back in that hover we've been working this whole time. Can you rotate your arms so that your palms face down to the floor? So you're back in that external rotation that we've been working anyway. Now, this is the tricky part. Your hands are in fists. You're squeezing through your arms. You're going to flick out through the heel of your hand. So you're doing this with your wrist, flicking out through the heel of your hand. Now you're going to keep that flick out. You're going to bend your elbows just a little bit or a lot of bit. Feel like the elbows are squeezing together and then push those arms away. Bend them in. Now I highly recommend keeping your feet down for this one. Squeeze. Bending it in. Exhale to reach and squeeze. We're going for 8. Reach it out. This is my favorite tricep exercise. Keep going. For 7. For 6. For 5. For 4. It's exciting. For 3. Reach it. For 2. Last one. Reach and squeeze. We're going to pulse the arm up for 10, 9, 8. Right up. 7. Don't let it open to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. You're welcome to plant your hands, push back, and take a little shell stretch if you'd like. And if you have the range in your shoulders, you can pop your elbows on the floor and give yourself a pat on the back because you did a really good job. And also it'll give you a bit of a stretch. If you want a bit of a stretch, but that doesn't work, you can just bring your hands and pat yourself on the back from being up, kneeling up. Take a few more breaths there. And then in your own time, whenever you're ready, let's flip onto our backs. Bringing your knees into your chest, giving yourself that little rock, especially from all of that extension work. We're going to plant our feet onto the floor. We're going to reach our right leg up, give it a little shakety shake shake. Can you squeeze your right thigh over your left? And then you're just going to teeter-totter those legs over to the left. Maybe reach that right arm back behind you. Maybe it opens to the side. And I'm hoping that this sort of spirals up your back to give a bit of relief from all of that extension work. I've been taking different courses. I'm always taking courses, but I've been taking some extra courses with this extra time that we've been given, or I've had the grace of being given. And we talk a lot about maximum tension in the body and how the body is so smart, and it really is so smart and wants to be efficient. And what that means is that the more we do things, the less like signaling that's required, or conscious signaling that's required. And so by working in maximum tension, it sort of gives us something to always think about, but then it's asking the body to stay really, really present. And it's also going to be working those signals of connectivity together, right? Through the whole body. One more breath in. As we breathe out, bringing ourselves all the way up, unwrap that leg. Then let's go to the other side. Left leg reaches up, give it a little wiggle. Squeeze the left leg over the right, give it a wrap, and then take the legs over to the right. Maybe your left arm reaches up overhead, maybe out beside you, whichever feels best. The other thing we talk about a lot is mobility, which is something that I am particularly interested in, especially doing what I do. And it's really interesting, how there is a difference between flexibility and mobility. Flexibility generally is the range that you have without being active. And then mobility is the range you have with being active. And sort of as sensation seekers, which that's how our human body works, right? We are sense driven. We sort of lean into this feels really good, or this feels like whatever. And it can sometimes be a false sense of security, right? If there's actually no range to support it. So taking a huge pat on the back to yourselves for working a practice where we don't really take a break, and we try not to lean into being a sensation seeker in like what feels good, but in what feels like it's working, which is such a cool, it's also fascinating. I love it so much. Bring yourself back to center, curl yourself up into a ball. So nod your chin up, curl. You're going to squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then can you melt out on your mat or your floor or wherever you are. Taking a second to feel the body breathing underneath, to feel the support underneath you. And to know that you worked so hard this hour, top to tail, to create really positive change in your body. When you're ready, inhale, reach those arms overhead, give yourself a nice big, ooh, as if it was first thing in the morning stretch for resetting for the afternoon. And as you breathe out, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Thank you as always so much for having me in. I missed you guys last week, so this is so fun to be in. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.